Hi, and welcome to Let's Talk Sports podcast with me, Lucia. So, the Giants could actually win the NFC East. This is a remarkable feat, coming from last place and being arguably one of the worst teams in the whole history of the NFL. We now have a chance to win the East and go to the playoffs. That is incredible. There has been a change in the O-line coordinator, and if you believe any of the reports that are out there, my head coach, Joe Judge, is an absolute badass for trying to get into a fight, an actual fist fight, with the O-line coordinator, who used to be an O-lineman for the Dallas Cowboys. He's 6'8", 300 pounds. Yeah, you don't want to get into a fight with that human being. But Joe Judge would do it for the benefit of his team. I love that about him. But yeah, if Daniel Jones can have a mistake-free game, we are going to take the NFC East crown. And honestly, I will buy the NFC East merchandise for whatever amount of money it takes, because it is a remarkable season that the Giants are having right now. And if Daniel Jones has a mistake-free game, I will be hard-pressed to find if they can't make noise in the NFC going into the playoffs. They're actually, at the moment, and I know this could be considered homerism because I love the Giants so much, but they're a sneaky pick for the Super Bowl. I don't know, I'm just getting flashes to the Super Bowl. I don't know what it is, I just feel like this year is our year. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be the New York Football Giants. We've done it before. Can the Steelers go undefeated for the entirety of the year? Now look, I know a lot of Steelers fans that are actually quite worried about the potential of going undefeated, because it means that there's a bigger target on them going into the playoffs. I'm going to say no. They're still due for a loss. And although they're playing the Jaguars this week, I would not be surprised if they lose that game. They're going to lose a game that they know that they should have won. Now, they handed the Jets an amazing loss, which makes me so happy. As a Giants fan, you laugh at Jets fans. And I've been doing a lot of laughing this season with them. But yeah, the Steelers, I'm still not 100% on board with them. I still don't have them going to the Super Bowl, and I don't know what it is, because everything seems to be working on all cylinders, but yet there's just something about the Steelers that I just don't trust yet. So yeah, that Hail Murray, holy bleep, that might have been the best play I've ever seen come from an NFL game. I mean, it was incredible. And I know Deshaun Watson's probably sitting at home saying, Bill O'Brien, why the hell did you trade DeAndre Hopkins? But holy crap, that was an amazing play. And to put this into context for you, I am 175 centimeters. I'm 5'9.5". Kyler Murray is 178 centimeters. He's only 3 centimeters taller than me. So he's under 6 foot, and he made that play. Kyler Murray is an incredible little quarterback, and I literally mean little because he is tiny. It's an incredible thing to just watch this team fit together so nicely. I've never felt this way about the Cardinals. it could actually all figure out and fit together. It just fits. It's like a hand in a glove. It just fits so well. But yeah, I'm going to move on from that point because I have no idea where that was going. Like, in all seriousness, I had no idea where that whole analogy was going. But everything seems to be working well for the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm very happy for them. Now, in NBA trade news, we have CP3 going to the Suns. I am so happy for Devin Booker because now he's actually got a point guard that can facilitate and get him the ball so he doesn't have to do as much. I would not be surprised if they make some more noise in the West. They're definitely a playoff team now, and I'm really happy for Devin Booker because he finally has a point guard that is actually going to do him some really good things for him. Now we're going to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. They have sort of botched, but yet not botched, a trade/free agent signing. I don't know how to explain it. So they traded and got Jrue Holiday, but they were supposed to get Bogdan Bogdanovic. I am so happy that I finally got that name right. I was saying it over and over again to get it right, because from my NBA draft preview show, I could not get names right, and it was bugging me, so I just practiced all the different names over and over again, so I'm glad that I got Bogdan Bogdanovic right. So they were supposed to get him in a sign and trade from the Kings, but Bogdan has decided to test free agency. Now, I would not be surprised if the Milwaukee Bucks pick him up that way, but it was a really weird scenario that just went on, and I don't know what happened there. Anyway, we have some sad news in terms of the NBA. Klay Thompson has torn his Achilles and will be out for another year. As we all know, he was coming off an ACL tear, and he spent the entirety of last season injured, and I'm devastated. For a fan of the game of basketball, it's really hard to see Klay Thompson, one half of the Splash Brothers, get injured again. I genuinely think this might be the end of his career. He's a 3-time champ, one of the greatest shooters that we've ever seen. But yeah, I think it's the end. I genuinely do. To me, this was the last year that the Warriors could actually make some noise because everyone else was getting better around them. But now that Klay Thompson's injured, they're gonna try and get maybe the 7th or 8th seed in the West to try and get to the playoffs, but from there, I just don't know. I'm devastated. But on a happier note, we have the NBA Draft Top 5 recap. Number 1, Anthony Edwards goes to the Timberwolves. Now, I was really expecting LaMelo to go number 1. I don't know why. I just had this thing in my head that LaMelo was going to go number 1. But I'm happy for Anthony Edwards. He now joins D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns in Minnesota. Got James Wiseman to the Golden State Warriors. Now, if it wasn't for Klay's injury, I would say that they'd be the number 2 seed in the West. But Klay's again injured, so I don't know where that leaves the Golden State Warriors now. James Wiseman's a really good pickup. I think it was really, really good for them to just continue with their plan and not change it based on Klay's injury. We've got LaMelo Ball to the Hornets. This is going to be interesting, having LeVar Ball and Michael Jordan around each other all the time. They've got a little feud going on, but hey, that's all just going to be fun. And I want to give props to LeVar and Tina Ball. They did right they had 3 sons, and 2 of them went number 2 overall and number 3 overall. This is the first time in NBA history that 2 brothers has gone in the top 5 in the draft. And we give a lot of praise to the Mannings, to Archie and Olivia Manning, which we should, but we've got to do the same for LeVar and Tina. They did right for their kids. Like, LeVar might be a little over the top, a little arrogant, a little bit different from everyone else, but he has done right by his kids, and I give him all the props in the world. We've got Patrick Williams to the Bulls. Now that was a little surprise. I was really expecting them to pick up somebody else, but hey, that's a draft. Then we've got Isaac Okoro to the Cavs. Again, a little high, but hey, it's a draft, and it's a draft in the middle of a pandemic, so we've got to weigh that up too. So that was the NBA draft top 5 picks. I'm very happy for all 60 of the men that now can fulfill their dreams of playing in the NBA. I love the draft for that reason. So yeah. Now let's move along to week 11. We have an actually good Thursday night football game in the Seahawks versus the Cardinals. I'm so excited for this game. Too bad I have to work, but I'm going to try and figure out a way that I can watch it while I'm at work and not have to watch it on replay. I'm going to go with the Cardinals for that game. We've got the Jags versus the Steelers. I'm going with the Steelers. We've got the Panthers versus the Lions. I'm going to go with the Lions. We've got the Texans versus the Pats. I'm going with the Texans. We've got the Ravens versus the Titans. I'm going with the Ravens. We've got the Browns versus the Eagles. I'm going with the Browns. Because if there is a team that I hope loses every other game for the rest of the season, it would be the Eagles, because then the Giants have a legitimate shot. I'm so sorry for that. I just have had a lot of coffee this morning. We've got the Saints versus the Falcons. I'm going with the Saints. We've got Washington versus the Bengals. I'm going with the Bengals. We've got the Chargers versus the Jets. I'm going with the Chargers because somebody should take a mental health assessment if they ever go with the Jets on any day. We've got the Broncos versus the Dolphins. I'm going with the Dolphins. We've got the Vikings versus the Cowboys. I'm going with the Vikings. We've got the Colts versus the Packers. I'm going with the Packers. We've got the Raiders versus the Chiefs. I'm going with the Raiders. I think that the Raiders are a very strong chance. I still have the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl, but I think the Raiders could be like a little hitch in the armor. Then we've got the Bucks versus the Rams, which is going to be a very good game. But I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that is all for this week's episode of Let's Talk Sports podcast with me, Lucia. Next week, I'll be talking all free agency news. Hopefully, Anthony Davis re-signing with the Lakers. So I'll catch you all next week. Bye.